Hey, it's Sam, and in this video I'm going to answer a few questions about the how to do a great consultation course and tell you the main thing you need to know to conduct a great astrology consultation. So first of all, it's not enough to be able to identify the important factors in a chart. You also need to know how to communicate those things to another living being, and it's very tricky. Clients are often confused and worried, so even when you tell them the truth, they may not understand or recognize it. And this might lead them to denying what you're saying, even when it's true, and maybe even argue with you about what you're saying. So how do you handle something like that? Often people pressure you to make these difficult predictions that you're not really confident in making. People, often get into these very convoluted and confusing situations, and it's very hard to predict what's going to happen. So you can see the complexity in the situation, and it's impossible to know what's going to happen. And how do you even know if answering that question and making that prediction is going to help them anyway? For example, people get into these serious health issues, and you see it getting worse. What do you say? Serious money problems. You see them getting worse. And people are pressuring you to tell them good news. Actually, they don't want you to be honest with them. They want you to tell them everything is going to be okay. So how do you handle these kinds of situations? And you must address them. This is why they're paying you. So I'll be discussing these kind of sticky issues because, again, you want to empower them, and you want to empower them to make a courageous choice, but instead you can see that they won't, or that they just want to remain stuck. You keep trying to encourage them, and they keep coming back to the problem. They keep coming back to feeling stuck and not feeling confident or powerful. And instead they might want you to sort of fix them with a remedy or a gemstone or something. And again, as I said, they act like they want the truth, but most of the time, or many times, people just want to hear what they want to hear. So again, how do you handle these kinds of things? This is the sort of stuff that I'll be talking about. And, oftentimes you'll also see that people don't really have spiritual practices or tools. They just sort of want a quick fix remedy, like I said. And you can help them with remedies, but what kind of remedies can you suggest that always work? These are a few of the things that you will often encounter, and one of the most difficult ones is when people just have this huge expectation for reading that that this astrology reading is going to save their life, and they put all this pressure on you, and then again when you just speak objectively and truthfully, they can get angry and depressed and upset. So again, many of these mindsets are normal in almost every reading. And so unless you know how to frame and structure a reading correctly, this will happen. And in fact, you might actually be creating these problems in the reading yourself because of your inability to structure the reading and to have good boundaries and have a good container. So again, these are the things that I'm really going to be unpacking in this course. Now, I wanted to let you know that I decided to create this course for my students. Those who have graduated from my certification course, and hearing their experiences over the years, I wanted to make a course that would help them do readings. Because I happen to know that it only takes a few bad reading experiences with some difficult clients to really start to sour us on even doing readings. I've been through this. It can make you sort of reevaluate your whole, sort of perspective. Bad reading stays with us for days, even weeks. And most of the time, these readings go bad because of a few small things that you can learn. And you mainly just need to know a few important shifts in your approach. So in this course, that's what I'm going to be doing, sharing some of my sort of ninja secrets and strategies that I've learned after doing hundreds of readings per year for more than a decade. But frankly, even now, I still have some tough readings. But in spite of that, my readings still sell out very quickly now because I've learned how to structure a reading, how to leave a person feeling empowered and not, victimized. So, but again, it wasn't always that way. I've made a lot of mistakes, and you can benefit from those mistakes in this course. So as I said at the beginning, the main thing you really need to know in order to conduct a great consultation is this. You need to understand what karma is and what the shared karma of the astrologer and the client are. You need to know this deep in your bones and know how to structure the reading around that container. Once that happens, your language and your boundaries reinforce this, and then you're not confused and knocked off course by their confusion. And because you're not clear about these things, you're susceptible to being manipulated or confused by the client, and as I said, actually probably confusing them at times as well. So most of your mistakes come from this lack of understanding of what you're there to do, how you're there to help. And again, as I said before, clients usually don't actually want their problems solved, or they don't want you to get sucked up into them. What they really want is to see you reflect back this compassionate universe that's not panicking or worried. They're the ones that are panicking and worried. When you are just neutral and compassionate and not worried, you'll realize that it's not cold or mean to reflect back the person's mistakes very clearly and honestly. And as long as you do that correctly and evenly without excitement and passion, they will thank you for it. They want to hear the truth. They don't want you to get sucked up into all of the stuff they say. But if you don't really understand how to handle those thorny issues, it's very easy to get sucked up in that. So the truth is, you can be totally honest about everything that you see and not get hooked into any of their problems and leave them feeling totally empowered by just making a few shifts. First in your awareness, and then in deploying some really important communication strategies that I've developed, and also some ways of drilling down into the chart to get to the answers quickly and succinctly, and then knowing how to speak them accurately. So, the other thing that I would say is that this course is going to be groundbreaking in one sense, is that it has more of my senior graduates and students in it than any other public class I've ever done. So if you're not one of my certification course students, this is a rare chance to interact with a lot of world-class astrologers discussing the best ways to help people. And again, you normally don't ever see this many of my advanced students in one place, especially focused on something that's so practical and applicable. So if there's still an opportunity to register, you should register for this, and it's going to be a great class.